Hey everybody, Rain Dragon here, and we're just back for a quicker episode of Mini Healer, where we talk about the endgame and the crafting system, just to wrap up the series. So the endgame is predominantly based in the Pandemonic Depth. And the reason why is, as you go through these depths, you get these different keys. Now, I know there's way more keys than what I currently have here. Just ones to note so far, the Chamber of Plenty is literally full of chests. You can just walk through there and farm items and gold, and that's important, and I'll get to that in a moment. The Utopia is for extra experience. Yeah, enemies, they don't drop artifacts. It's mainly for experience, so for quick levels if you're getting behind or want to farm levels and so forth. And there are other keys. This one, the Malevolent Chamber, we'll go over in a moment also. But obviously, from the way that you get these keys is you farm down your Key of Infinity. You can see I've got to 14. I haven't really pushed this any further, but I do want to, because the further that you push it, the cursed rooms drop 3 additional cursed souls and so forth, and those cursed souls become important for crafting. So the main end game then is focused around this tower, and you can craft various things onto the tower to make it so that you get various things, like you can force a key to drop, you can guarantee one of the crafters will spawn in so that you can farm those special items. I can't think what they're called right now, the alternate versions, which I'll show you in a moment. You can make the map transparent so you can already see the layout. You can and you know, you can do these on any floor you like to help you progress or farm or target farm anything you're specifically looking for. But really what the end game is, other than that, and also the roguelike mode here, which I haven't played yet, but I'll perhaps do an episode on that, because roguelites aren't my kind of thing, and I've had a few goes at it, and I find it very, very difficult. But we'll maybe do one on that. So, yeah, let's have a look at crafting. Now, my build is a poison build that I've taken from the Discord. I'll link that below, because I got so that I hit a wall where it came to survivability on a boss with nemesis damage, and I overcame that with this build. And the reason that it works with this build is because I have this altered version of the Scorpion, anomalous version, sorry, which is what you farm from the crafters. And what it does is it changes the effects of something. So, for example, if I was to look for the Toxic Maker, there is a anomalous version of it where, if you see here, it says the tank's attack can also apply poison to the current level. The anomalous version is all party members' attacks can also apply poison to the current level. However, we lose a minus 15 poison chance on that item, whereas on this one it's actually a plus chance. So there's negatives to the anomalous, but they actually can change builds dramatically. The idea then is that what you want to do is try and make your builds as perfect as possible, as higher damage as possible, as best rolls as possible. Unfortunately, in the build I'm using, it uses uniques, and uniques can't be changed at all. Very much, I don't think. The best you can do is get them up to a quality of 25 through crafting and max their stats out as best as you can. What you really want to focus on is upgrading your other slots, like your non-unique items. And the way that you do this is, this bow that I have here is a kind of subpar bow. You can see that it's blue. It only has 5 stats on there rather than a 6. It only has 1 socket instead of 3. And barely any of those stats, other than the physical damage and the poison level, is any good for my build. Now, I've rolled the stats down the bottom and added the augments and added poisons on for what I need them to be. But this is not the kind of weapon that we want. And how you get the weapon that you want is you farm Pandemic to try and find a good base item. So, for example, if I'm looking for, say, what I really need for this build is a rare bow, or a bow, sorry, that has 3 sockets on it, that's going to give me physical damage, give me poison level, give me poison damage, crit damage, attack speed, crit chance for ranger. I'd even settle for maximum party health or tank health. Anything like that, maximum resistances, those sorts of things. So how you start off is you find yourself a good starting weapon. What we want really is an epic bow, because they roll with 6 lines of text. I don't have any with sockets, but for argument's sake, what we're going to do is we're going to take this item here, and we're going to go to craft. So this item, we'll pretend this is rare for epic for now, but it's got 3 sockets here, which is great, so that means we can put 3 jewels in it. But other than range of crit strike damage, there's nothing on here that I really want to keep. So what we could do with that is we could re-roll all these stats until we find something we wanted to keep. But our first port of call here is the item quality is level 9. Now I had a chat on Discord with the developer of the game and someone else so that we help me understand how this upgrade system works. Because if you see here, we can upgrade the overall quality of the artifact. But when we click it, it only gives us 5 stars. So that as a maximum gives us 14. And when I go to curse, there's also another upgrade here. Increase the base quality of an item, but it says increase the base quality of an item up to maximum of 15. So I thought, right, we're at 15, that's all we can do. That's not the case. What actually happens is, if you remember, this item dropped at a base quality of 9. So we could upgrade it with this first. Well, you can do it at any point, but you can upgrade this to a base quality of 15. Which means that we could do 6 levels by using the curse crystals and then upgrade. That would give us a base quality of 15, which we could then use the paid upgrade to make it up to 20. You can then mutate it for further, and you can click here, you can see other possible effects. We can see that we've got plus quality, but we would get minus effect to crit strike, ice, lightning, fire, etc. So we could then roll further for plus 5 to quality, which would give us 25 on the quality, and it would just reduce the effects of either these ice, lightning, fire, whatever was on the roll there. So that is why, if you look at my uniques, they are a quality of 25, because I got them to drop it above 10. I then paid curse crystals to upgrade the quality of an item up to 15. Then I upgraded using cash to get to plus 5, an extra 5. That made it 20, and then you can see I mutated for an extra 5 quality. So I hope, first of all, that helps with understanding how I get to 25, and also how to upgrade your quality. Don't make the mistake I did in reading this and thinking that you can only go to 15 and that's that, because that is not true. So from there then, let's take our item. Now let's pretend that I was at 20 or 20 quality and I've got these bunch of stats here. I mean, I like this range of crit strike damage, but let's pretend I didn't want that and I wanted anything else. Go to cursed, and we can then re-roll the tier of all base attributes. So you can see these attributes here. This is a tier 12, this is a tier 13, 13, 13, etc. You can re-roll the tier of all these attributes, but they would stay the same. We can also re-roll all the base attributes on the item. So what you do first of all is you find a base attribute you want. So there we go. We've got a +1 poison level, okay? Now this isn't perfect. I'd like to have a +2, but for argument's sake, we're going to keep this +1 poison level. The question is then, what do we do from now to make this a better bow? So the first thing we want to do is go to our pandemonic depths, and occasionally you will find this key here, the Malevolent Chamber. Now, this is an extremely rare key. And the first thing that happens, once you travel here, you lose your key. Your key's gone, poof, just like that. So make sure you're ready to go there when you go there. And like I said, I've had 2 of these keys in probably 5 or 6 hours of farming, so they are rare, but I haven't tried to target them too much. And inside, you'll find this Malevolent Shrine. And you can see there a powerful shrine that permanently locks an attribute to an item. If we was to pop our bow into here, and we chose to lock the poison in place, like so, we can then continue. Once you get to this guy, you can beat this guy and progress further through this chamber, and there is another shrine that you can lock at. I can't actually beat this guy with this build. He heals too much compared to the damage that I deal. It's something that I believe that once I've leveled up my build a bit and finished off and perfected my points and stuff, I believe I'll be able to kill him. But at the moment, his abilities means that he heals more than the damage that I can do, which sucks, but that's how it is. So yeah, let's go back to the crafting window, and we'll see. I always forget to just click this guy, and it'll take me straight there. We'll see now that my bow's locked in with the poison that we just gave it. There we go. So we've got poison locked onto it. So now what I can do is I can go back to cursing, and I can curse and roll all the base attributes of a non-unique item again, and you'll see the poison stay. So again, we can find something that we want, like this physical damage. We can then go back into the dungeon, lock the physical damage, and so on. And once you've done that, you can then re-roll the tier of all the attributes, so we can try and get higher tiers onto everything and make sure that everything's at the correct spot before you lock it and so forth. And this is how you craft the items or the required things that you need for your build. It's going to take a lot of chaos crystals, and the best way to do that is to target farm them. And the way you do that is you go to the Pandemic Depths. You get to at least floor 10 if possible, because from floor 10 the boss rooms will drop a cursed soul, as well as getting 2 additional ones from a chalice or a cup. And what you do is you pay 40,000 for transparent. If you wanted, you could also pay 25 to make it a bigger dungeon. Enter the depths. Have a look here. You can see we've got 1 chalice and we've got 1 anomaly boss there. So you go to the chalice, you do the chalice boss, you back out. You can go to the boss, obviously, clear the boss. You might as well, if you're doing it at 10. Anything lower than 10, you might as well just do it on 3 and go and farm the chalices, because that's when you can start doing chalices. But from 10, maze-like, transparent, enter depths, have a look. Right, we've got 1 chalice here, 1 chalice up there, and then the boss. So we've got a good sort of 6 cursed shards from here, and that gets you 6 rolls. So that's basically the end game. You perfect your builds. After that, you can just have a look through the book here, the atlas, find an item that you like, that sounds cool, that you think you want to try and build around, and create your own builds and see how they work up with everything else. And I am going to probably do a video on creating a build in the future, but not just yet, because I need a little bit of practice. It's been a while since I made a build for this game properly. I used the poison, I made this poison build myself, not this one, but the one we started with, and it needed some tuning. So now I understand the game better. Hopefully I'll be able to make a better build. So yeah, that's it for the end game. Thanks for hanging out with me, and if you guys like the video, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in the next ones. And yeah, remember guys, while you're outside, please stay safe. Bye bye.